2025 was not Marvel's best year. Sure, they put out 2 good movies and 1 surprising TV show, but overall they didn't do so well. Captain America: Brave New World didn't even come close to the numbers that Civil War and Winter Soldier pulled, and people weren't really into it. Thunderbolts bombed at the box office, Invincible overshadowed Daredevil Born Again, and for the first time in 17 years, they lost a head-to-head battle with DC. To make things worse, Fantastic Four: First Steps didn't even do well when it dropped on Disney+. There's no doubt 2025 was DC's year, but today I'm gonna break down how Marvel can take back the crown in 2026. First things first, they need to launch solid projects that get people trusting them again. Cameos alone aren't enough to build hype, and you can't count on people showing up just because a movie got good reviews, especially if it's about some random character most audiences don't even know. They need to drop direct follow-ups to stories people already love, and in 2026 we're getting 2 projects like that: X-Men 97 and Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. We don't know which month they're coming out, but Marvel already confirmed they're releasing this year, and both of them are gonna be huge wins for Marvel's image and also for Disney Plus subscriptions. I know it sounds weird, cause nobody really believed in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man when it was first announced. An animated show about a variant of Tom Holland's Spidey that wasn't even part of the MCU? Instead of being a prequel to Civil War, it was set in a different universe, and the animation in the trailers looked pretty weak. On top of that, the tone seemed super childish, like the recent Disney-made Spidey shows. Total recipe for failure. Everyone hates my guts. But Season 1 proved all of us wrong. It's not a super faithful adaptation to any Spider-Man comic, but it captures the spirit of the character way better than Homecoming and especially Far From Home. The way they reimagine the classic villains works great. It's got some brutal scenes, and it shows what MCU Spider-Man could have been without Sony messing with it. It may not be as good as Spectacular Spider-Man, but it's still one of the most hyped superhero shows of the year, cause Season 2 has tons of potential. Spider-Man shows always get crazy high ratings, and the fact that it's not tied to the MCU actually helps. You only need to watch Season 1 to keep up with the story, and folks who get into Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man might start exploring other Marvel stuff that's tied to the MCU, so in the end it still supports the shared universe. But the real gem is X-Men 97. At first, no one really cared about this show either. It was set in a different universe, continue the 90s show instead of introducing the MCU X-Men, and the teasers didn't help. The animation reminded people too much of What If. But the moment the first episode dropped, it was clear this was something special. The mix of 2D and CGI worked better than any other Marvel show. The character development was excellent. It was full of love for the original show and the comics, and it even delivered the best episode Marvel has ever made. It's probably the best show on Disney+. Shogun doesn't count, that's Hulu. Season 1 took a little while to pick up ratings and get people talking online, but after episode 5, everyone was talking about the X-Men. And this time, the hype should kick in right from the first episode, cause now we all know it's a great show. Season 2 might even top the first one. We're getting Evil Gambit coming back to life as one of Apocalypse's horsemen, and the X-Men scatter across time and space, fighting 3 different versions of Apocalypse. It's got huge potential to be epic, emotional, and keep everyone talking. Plus, Marvel made the great call to release the show weekly, so more people can jump in week by week. The only thing working against it is the behind-the-scenes drama with the showrunner, Bo DeMayo. I hope you've really got a handle on Cyclops' personality, cause they butchered them in the movies. I want kids to fall in love with him the same way I did. Okay, sir, got it. Why are you taking your clothes off? So you get the vibe of the show. Mutants are always very horny. Can't argue with that, but this is making me very uncomfortable. That Cyclops! Smell the leadership. Security! After that, DeMaio got fired and was totally cancelled. But the good news is that Brad Winderbaum, Marvel's head of animation, said they're still moving forward with his ideas for season 2, so the new episodes should carry on like nothing happened. Marvel's got everything lined up to win here. DC won't be able to compete like they did in 2025. Peacemaker was already a hit show for HBO Max, but the only show they're dropping in 2026 is Lanterns. It looks promising, sure, but it's still a test run because it's a brand new show starring characters who haven't shown up in live action for 15 years. I know Green Lantern has an awesome lore that could shine across multiple TV seasons and become a sci-fi benchmark for a whole generation, but they'll need to earn people's trust, cause casual viewers still see Green Lantern as the bad joke from the Ryan Reynolds movie nobody liked. There's just no comparing that to Spider-Man or the X-Men. Now, the ones who could hold their own in this knife-edge deathmatch are The Boys and Invincible, but luckily for Marvel, those two don't have the exact same audience. Even though X-Men 97 tackles mature topics, Invincible and The Boys have for adults written all over them, with blood. The real competition would be Deadpool or Blade, not a mutant show. If Marvel wants the slice of that pie, they're gonna have to work for it, but that's a mission for later. More like Mission Impossible, especially once Freddie Mercury shows up. Right, Dad? He's right behind me, isn't he? We're dead. So Marvel can win people's trust back with these solid projects. But that's not enough. If they wanna start selling tickets like crazy again, they need to release movies starring big-name characters that are already guaranteed hits. The biggest issue with the movies they dropped in 2025 wasn't the quality, since both Thunderbolts and First Steps were well received by the audience, the critics, and the fans. But they were experiments. Nobody knew who the Thunderbolts were, and the Fantastic Four had never really worked in the movies. But it looks like they've learned their lesson, cause in 2026 we're getting Spider-Man Brand New Day and Avengers Doomsday, the studio's biggest cards. Spider-Man's the most popular superhero in the world. His last two movies each made over $1 billion, and it'd be a tragedy if Brand New Day isn't a massive hit. This character works for audiences of all ages. Destin Daniel Cretton already showed with Shang-Chi that he's amazing at directing action. The leaked teaser was one of the most talked about things this past December, and they're loading up the movie with a bunch of characters to recreate the event movie feeling from No Way Home and Deadpool and Wolverine. Plus, they have the perfect lead actor. Tom Holland's at the peak of his career and will already be trending thanks to The Odyssey from Christopher Nolan, which comes out right before Brand New Day. If that's not enough to lock in a hit, the little we do know about the movie sounds like exactly what fans have been asking for: a street-level adventure with no fancy tech and no mentors. Mr. Stark, I finally got a solo movie! Well, about that. Disney and Sony also nailed the release date. Instead of dumping it during a death month like February, like they did with Quantumania or Brave New World, they picked July 31st, right at the peak of summer when blockbusters usually crush it. That'll also help the Punisher special, which is dropping on Disney Plus around July or August. We still don't know if it's a prequel, sequel, or set during Brand New Day, but people who walk out of the theater hyped after seeing Punisher team up with Spidey will definitely want to check out more Frank Castle in the Disney Plus special. That could also boost Daredevil Born Again, since season 2 should be tied to the special. That'll be the first bit of good news for Daredevil, since Marvel made the dumb move of releasing it at the same time as The Boys and Invincible. Even if season 2 doesn't feel patched up like season 1 did, that's still a losing battle. But Brand New Day and the Punisher special could give it a second win for anyone looking to binge the show mid-year. The only real threat to Spider-Man is Supergirl, which hits theaters just 1 month earlier. According to box office analyst Luis Fernando, we might see a repeat of 2017, when Wonder Woman and Spider-Man Homecoming came out close together, and Wonder Woman crushed Spidey at the domestic box office. However, Homecoming did make a bit more globally. But could the same thing happen with Supergirl and Brand New Day? No way in hell! Even if Supergirl ends up being the best superhero movie of the year, it doesn't stand a chance of overshadowing Spider-Man. I could totally beat that skinny-ass Spider-Punk even half drunk. Huh? Mr. Castle, we have a drunk flying miss! By the way, Mom, technically Spider-Punk is Happy Brown of Earth 138. Public intoxication with a yield of 10 megatons. That's a Class A felony, Girl Scout. Mr. Castle, we agreed no guns. Oh, this isn't gonna end well for you guys. This is fine. Marvel is also bringing back the most popular superhero team in the world, the Avengers, featuring Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Chris Evans as Captain America, and Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, adding the new Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and the classic Fox X-Men, and this should be the biggest hit of the year. Every bit of news or teaser about this movie has blown up online, from the announcement of RDJ's return to the leaked teasers that dropped before Avatar: Fire and Ash. In less than a day, the first teaser racked up 167.5 million views, surpassing what the first Endgame teaser pulled in over the same period. But let's not get carried away yet. The road to Doomsday isn't anything like the build-up to Infinity War, back when Marvel ruled the world. I'd be shocked if the ending of this new saga had the same cultural impact as the Infinity Saga, even if they give us some epic sacrifice from Thor. But whether the hype is real or just cameo-fueled, Doomsday's gonna be on everyone's lips, and it'll be the biggest movie of 2026. It's no surprise that Marvel started promoting it before dropping the first teaser for Brand New Day, which comes out 5 months earlier. Like with Spidey, they picked the perfect release date, December 18th, right in the middle of the holiday season, the same window where hits like No Way Home and the 3 Avatar movies crushed it. If Supergirl can't compete with Spider-Man, the solo Clayface movie has no chance. There aren't gonna be any other superhero films in 2026, so Marvel should dominate the box office and the online conversation. It's true that Doomsday releases the same day as Dune Messiah, which targets a similar audience, but even though the Dune saga always brings in strong cinematic buzz, it still doesn't have the pop culture presence of an Avengers movie, so they probably won't clash. If anything, they could boost each other like what happened with Barbenheimer in 2023. This time, we should call him Doomsday. But for this to really work, Marvel's gonna have to do Doctor Doom justice. That won't be easy, because the characters never had a good live-action adaptation. I explain why in this video.